curtains shut. If you turn, you'll see why. See? I'm totally blind. Nice to see you. Yeah. Welcome back. Yeah, thank you. Much better. Thank you. That's perfect.
Not hot.
Yeah. Good enough. Welcome, everybody. And welcome those who are following on streaming. So, there are 7 of us in the room, although there might be somebody up there. No? Okay. 7 of us. And that's unusual. And it might have something to do with an event tomorrow. Quite a number of people have headed south for the eclipse. So I was curious what the numbers would be. And there's a funny saying for people who lead things like this, both in Buddhist circles, but in not, that Jesus started with only 12 and Buddha started with only 5. So, hey, we got 7. So we're right in the middle way. So, thanks for choosing to be here tonight. I thought we might just start right out with our prayer, our setting refuge in bodhicitta. And as Lama Michael often comments, to simply follow those concepts and words as they go across your mind 3 times, because that refuge in bodhicitta prayer is very dense in meaning. It contains so much. So if we really pin our our mind to the words and not clinging to the concepts, but just really touching on them as they go by. I think it has a lot more meaning for us. So let's start there. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering, establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering, establish them in lasting peace and happiness. The summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and lately, we've been touching quite a bit here in our past few sessions on the four thoughts that turn the mind. That is the amazing good fortune we have in the present. As Bill said this morning, almost a God realm, in the sense of our material wealth, our time for leisure, that we have choice. This is not true for most of the people in the world, actually, who have to work so very hard that they don't have this kind of free time. And we've been talking also about what's called the faults of samsara. That is this suffering mind that is constantly, basically not satisfied. Even in our most precious moments, some things just not quite right. And we don't have very many of those very precious moments. Most of our moments are pretty stress-filled. And then, of course, karma, which is simply action, result, action, consequences, cause and effect. But tonight I have been drawn to think about it's actually the second thought, but of the four, which is our deaths. So, our death is certain, absolutely, 100% certain. Some time will come when we will not be able to escape that. It could be tonight, actually. We don't know. People die in car accidents. People die from strange viruses. There are so many more causes of death, the teachings say, than causes of life. Our life is quite fragile. One image is like a candle in the wind. And our time of death is completely unknown. That is so strange. I don't know when I'm going to die. I just know for certain I am. Now, why would we think about this at all? When you think about it, what use do you see in contemplating it? I see a couple of them, and we can talk more at the discussion time if it's useful. But one obvious one is that it is in line with reality. And I have found in my life it's not very helpful or useful to ignore reality. In fact, it seems to bring extra suffering. So, our birth, our aging, sickness, death, it's part of our reality, a big part. It's quite hard to think about and talk about death in this culture. I know people are now putting together these groups like the death cafes and such, so people can actually get together and talk about it, just talk about it. And as it is in line with reality, it can help us on the path, on the bodhisattva path. Because if I have the delusion that I have endless time, then I will engage in endless distractions. I know I will. I've done that over and over. I still do it. I don't beat myself up for it, but I see it. And then the time of my death will come. And I don't know what my mind will be like about that, but certainly likely to have some regret. So whatever comes up for you as you contemplate this, even perhaps fear, that's fine, because we need to know then I'm still afraid of this. I'm so afraid I don't even look. Or if you're like me, it's kind of a stubborn ignorance. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to die sometime. Surely not very soon. But a while ago, I was contemplating it a little more deeply than I do lately, and I thought, wow, I'm turning 70 in October. How long do I think I'm going to live? I might make it to the middle of my 80s, maybe. So that's 15 years. That's not long. It kind of shocked me. If I only have 5, 10, 15 years to live, wow. I'll tell you, these 70 years went fast, so that's going to go fast. So, got to get ready for it. It's a big trip, a big journey. And I think on the Buddhist path, what we can end up doing is seeing it as an adventure. They say kind of low-level approach to death is simply to die peacefully, but a bodhisattva looks forward to that journey because of having practiced during his or her life. He or she can see, as the Dalai Lama says, that this is a great opportunity, this opening, this dropping all the stories, all the delusion has to drop. It's just inevitable. It will drop. All the senses shut down. No sight, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch. Those are gone, so they're no longer interfering in constant input. So there's this opening that can occur. So I think it would be good for us to think about that and think about how to use this time to help ourselves be ready. Because, this path is all about ending suffering. And it's going through death in a way that can possibly, I don't want to use the word catapult, but it's like that, determinedly push us and our consciousness or lead it into a form that can be very helpful to other beings, both in the transition space and then in our next life. So of course we need to practice the rest of this life, if it's 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 years, practicing the same thing. The mind we have now is the same mind we're going to die with. There's no magic mind that is going to show up and make it more palatable. So whatever we think about it now, that's the mind that we'll have. So we can keep cultivating a mind that meets it with loving kindness, some confidence in the path, feeling close to our teachers, feeling close to the Buddha, and just go through it. So we can use this tool that we'll spend the next, 40 minutes on, calm abiding. Can you imagine meeting your death with a calm, abiding mind? Whatever arises, fine. Just fine. Scary vision. Okay, hi. Now it's gone. Fear. Fine, hi. Clinging. Oh my God, I don't want to never see my grandkids again. Sadness. Okay, hi. Just being with it. So what we do on the cushion here is the same as what we will need to do in the moments of our death. There's no difference. So let's practice that way. Simply whatever now arises in your mind during this calm abiding time. We just meet it with a gentle, almost friendly attitude, but no need to hold on. Just let it go by. Nod to it. Thank it. And let go. So we'll spend this time coming back and noticing when we get lost, forgiving ourselves instantly for being lost. Don't even think about it. Just come back. virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state. Thank you. There's just a few small announcements that I know about. Next Sunday evening, Eric Trebelhorn will be here, Lama Eric, and he will lead this evening time, the Shamata and the discussion. So that should be a wonderful treat. So please try and come and bring your Dharma questions. It's rare to be able to sit with Lama Eric, and he is a pretty amazing mind. Having worked on it very hard for quite a while. People may not know, but he is currently tutoring the Bukar Rinpoche's Toku, tutoring him in English. So to learn English, and he lives there at the monastery half of the time, and he was here with Kempo Lodro Donyo. So, and let's see, Bill said, be sure and tell them to buy Peggy Enson's jam, which is in the bookstore. Peggy Enson makes incredible homemade jams, and they are in the bookstore there. So I don't know why he just really wanted me to tell you that. He took 4 of them home today. And let's see, it seemed like there was something else. Oh, yeah, Bill and Dora are going off to Iceland and Europe for a vacation, so they'll be gone the next few weeks. And I will also be going, I'm going to Shravasti Abbey August 28th through September 6th. So I'll be gone. But around here the rest of the time. And Melissa's going to Shravasti Abbey, which is so cool. And Judith is going, so yeah, so consider it someday. So that's what I know. Anybody have something else, or we can just have some nice tea? Okay, good. Let's do that. Hey, Ryan, I want to ask you, there's supposed to be a letter in the book that we put the descriptions in of our talks. So we start making a playlist for the YouTube. Otherwise, it just says Zopa Q&A, Bill Q&A. Do you know where that is?
It's
Linda
a
Grove
book?
gave it to me. It's a little journal where
I'll go see if it's up there.
It's just